Judges of Tribunal-1 inspect Ayna Ghar of RAB. US envoy meets Prime Minister, assurance of US investment. Jamaat Amir slams meeting of Sergio Ghar and India's envoy. And July uprising credit does not belong to anyone solely. Well, good evening, viewers. Those were the headlines. I'm Salim Kadir, and you're watching English Bulletin. To follow on, around 250 enforced disappearance victims, including BNP leader Ilyas Ali, are still missing. Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Aminul Islam made the remark after inspecting RAB's TFI cell on Saturday. He also said incumbent Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed was kept at TFI cell. The Chief Prosecutor said this inspection will be considered as part of the trial. The ICT-1, headed by Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza Muzamdar, prosecution team and Defence Counsel went to TFI cell of RAB-1 in capital's Uttara on Saturday morning. However, Sheikh Hasina's state-appointed counsel Amir Hussain claimed that this is not Ayna Ghar. This was made after August 5, 2024. Tribunal-1 made the decision on July 21 to inspect the TFI cell of RAB and DGFI Joint Interrogation Cell, both known as Ayna Ghar. The Tribunal-1 will inspect GIC of DGFI next Saturday. Stability has been achieved in Bangladesh under the leadership of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Representatives of US Investment Council will come to Bangladesh soon. US President's Special Envoy Sergio Ghar made observation during his meeting with Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. Sergio Ghar came to the Prime Minister's office on Saturday on the third and final day of his Bangladesh tour. The US Ambassador to India, who is also holding the office of US Envoy for South and Central Asia, discussed different important issues with the Prime Minister, including progressing Bangladesh-US bilateral ties, regional issues, and boosting economic cooperation. Foreign Minister, State Minister for Foreign Affairs, several other high officials were present. Meeting US Special Envoy Sergio Ghar and Indian High Commissioner of Bangladesh is unfortunate. Amir of Jamaat Islami Dr. Shafiqur Rahman made the remark while talking to the journalists at the founding anniversary event of local newspaper of Sylhet on Saturday afternoon. He said Bangladesh-US talks should only take place with the government and opposition party. Talks with any other country on Bangladesh are not desirable. He also warned the government of dire consequences if a referendum mandate is not implemented. July mass uprising victory is not a credit of any individual or party. It belongs to all who fought hard against the fascist rule. Information Minister Jahiruddin Shapon made the remark in his address to an event on July mass uprising at the National Press Club on Saturday. The Information Minister alleged the past fascist regime even hatched conspiracy to kill BNP chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia to weaken democratic foes. He called upon all to vow so that fascism never returns on the soil of Bangladesh earned through Liberation War. Liberation War Affairs Minister Azam Khan said government is trying to rebuild Bangladesh torn up by fascism. Amra BNP Poribar and Bangladesh Photojournalists Association organized the event on July mass uprising. There is 31 days in the calendar of July. However, the revolution of July 2024 broke that boundary of Gregorian calendar and made it July 36, including the 5 days of August. The streets of Dhaka and all around the country turned tumultuous through blood-soaked July revolution. The anti-discrimination student movement against quota system finally turned into July mass uprising, and Sheikh Hasina's regime tried to suppress it, ordering the law enforcement to open fire on the students. The movement turned defiant after many people got killed. It saw the final victory through the ouster of Sheikh Hasina's regime on August 5. July 36 now symbolizes the blood-soaked footprint of July martyrs and warriors. Viewers, we now take a short break and we will be back soon with influx of migrants in Ceuta of Spain, 57 killed. And Tigers fly to Australia for two-match test series. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. To follow on, after July genocide, there is no scope for Awami League to make a political comeback. State Minister for Liberation War Affairs Ishaq Hussain made the remark at an event of Debate for Democracy in capital's FDC on Saturday. He said Awami League faced final political defeat after July genocide. Announcement of Sheikh Hasina's return in December is nothing but a bait to uplift the morals of leaders and activists. Addressing the same event, Chairman of Debate for Democracy Hassan Ahmed Chaudhry Kiron said conspiracy is getting hatched to create split in July unity. If it happens, it is feared that fascism will rise. Viewers, we now begin with news around the world. At least 57 migrants died after drowning and in deadly stampede incidents while trying to reach Spanish territory of Ceuta. Around 60,000 entered in Ceuta through land and sea in 24 hours through the border from Morocco. Regional authorities said the huge influx, which took place in 24 hours, making it one of Europe's largest migrant crises in recent years. It has triggered political crisis for Madrid and makes reaction in EU countries, including calls for Spain to be suspended from the Schengen Free Movement Zone. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez visited Ceuta, describing the crossings as a violation of Spain's territorial sovereignty and promising faster repatriations. The European Union has also condemned the situation, while France, Germany and Italy have announced measures in response as concerns grow over Europe's migration crisis. President Donald Trump has threatened U.S. forces will be hitting Iran very hard in the coming times. In response to Trump, Tehran said it has plans to respond to any U.S. attacks. Media reported, citing unnamed Pentagon spokesperson, U.S. is planning strikes on Iran as soon as this weekend. The military is locked and loaded and ready for anything at any time. The precise scope of strikes and potential targets were not clear. Trump was planning to carry out wide-ranging strikes on Iran's energy infrastructure targets. Meanwhile, Iran attacked two tankers trying to pass through Hormuz under U.S. escort. Top Joint Military Command Major General Ali Abdullahi accused U.S. actions against Iran increasingly risk igniting widespread regional conflict. Iranian army claimed it launched a drone attack on strategic U.S. facilities at Ahmed al-Jaber Air Base in Kuwait. Kuwait's foreign ministry had condemned Iran's continued aggression. Kuwaiti authorities described the hostile drones they intercepted Saturday morning local time as Iranian aggression. The strikes hit a government facility and civilian vehicles, according to the country's defense ministry, but no casualties were reported. However, Iran army said in a statement U.S. fighter aircraft hangars, satellite communication systems and equipment warehouses at the base were targeted by explosive drones. They also described Ahmed Ali Jaber Air Base as a key hub for U.S. aerial and surveillance operations and logistical support. Viewers, will now take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. And now we begin with sports news. Almost after 23 years, Bangladesh cricket team has set off for its first test tour of Australia for the two-match test series. Liton Das has also returned to squad for the test recovering from calf muscle injury. The first batch who departed Dhaka included test captain Shanto, Mushfiqur, Muminul, Tamim and Amit. Head coach Simons, batting coach Ashraful and spin coach Mustaq Ahmed were among technical and coaching staff. Remaining cricketers and officials will join first batch in Darwin on different flights on Sunday. Tigers will play a 3-day warm-up match before the series to adapt to Australian conditions. First test will start on August 13 in Darwin. Second and final test will take place at Mackay from August 22. Well, viewers, before ending the bulletin, we have top stories once again. Judges of Tribunal-1 inspect Ayna Ghar of RAB. US envoy meets Prime Minister, assurance of US investment. Jamaat Islam's meeting of Sergio Ghar and India's envoy. July pricing credit does not belong to anyone solely. Influx of migrants in Ceuta of Spain, 57 killed. And Tigers fly to Australia for two-match test series. Well, that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us. Until then, see you soon.